Well, we're back. It's been a while, we know, and there's been quite a few different things going on lately. Been a few ups and downs, highs and lows, and we thought we would share, well, get you up to speed with what's going on. It's going to take us probably about 3 or 4 videos to do, so stay tuned, and we'll try and explain everything that's been happening lately, and yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Beautiful beanie weather. Well, not completely. I'm not really a beanie person, but Nate likes beanies, so I've been obliging and worn a beanie. It is pretty chilly, but it's a damp cold.
It's 14 degrees.
Yeah, it's like Australian
cold.
winter.
Yeah. We're off exploring.
It's like Australian winter, damp and wet. Damp and wet mean the same thing. Damp and cold. There we are.
You can see some of the trees have started to turn.
Yeah.
Not.
The rosa already.
Oh, see the yellow?
Some of the other ones
Ooh, it's so good, and
Winter's coming.
it's such
Winter's
a.
coming.
What is it? Such a
Look at that.
melancholy. Not melancholy. What's it?
Try
What's,
that over.
no, not melancholy. What's it? A happy, sad feeling.
Um,
What do you call that? Not really happy, sad. What's that word? Oh, whatever that word is. Because you're like, I'm excited that winter's coming because I love winter, but I'm kind of really sad that summer's over at the same time. It's gone past so fast.
Not to mention we've got so much stuff to
So much to do.
Don't tell anyone, but this is the place to come for some likey. Look at them all. Well, when they're in season, that is.
So as you know, we came down to the Altai region a while back to come and have a look at some blocks of land, which we didn't find. We had a bit of a cry. We had like
A bit of a cry? That's what I think.
cry, yeah. No, our criteria was basically it had to be a certain zoning, EGS, or for
Residential housing.
English in English it would be something like IZHS,
Yes.
like this. We also wanted a little bit of land, so about an acre, and it had to be not very expensive. So we had a look in a lot of villages and stuff. It basically, the other requirement was it had to have power. You can kind of do without gas. Obviously it's a little bit more expensive and more work to not have gas. So we had a look around. We found a few blocks that we thought were interesting and went to go have a look at them. When we went out to go and have a look at the block, we saw it advertised on Avito, which is like
I classified like Craigslist.
it's like Craigslist, Gumtree for Australians. It's actually a really cool site.
Very
We've
handy.
bought lots of things on there, sold a few things. Yeah, so that's where we've done a lot of our searching for land on there.
Rather than through an agency.
Yeah, rather than through agents. And it's been pretty good.
Yeah.
But when we found this block, we were like, oh, let's go find out where it is. We got the cadastral number, found out the address, went out and had a look at it, walked all over, measured out, you know. Oh, look, this is how big it. We're all very excited about it. It was a beautiful looking, you know, little parcel of land. Took the children out for a walk, had a look around it. And then we went and spoke to the people actually selling it. While I was doing that, Nate went and took the children to the playground.
Yeah, which they loved. All
Yeah.
nice and new and
Brand new. I was
Yeah.
absolutely flabbergasted that in a Russian village they have such nice,
brand new playgrounds and
Like,
everything.
it was
yeah.
amazing.
Very nice.
We were in Novosibirsk, and the local playground near us was just like
Falling apart.
falling apart, rubbish, and like way out here in the middle of nowhere. Well, not the middle of nowhere, but you know,
Yeah.
agricultural kind of
village.
area, and it had a really nice playground. Had a
Yeah.
hockey rink that looked like it was new as well. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. But after talking to the owners, we found out that I was just on a lease,
Yeah, which was
which
disappointing.
kind of put a stop to that.
It's an interesting system here. You can buy the rights to buy the land off the government, sort of thing.
Yeah, so they were selling the lease basically, and then we would have to buy the actual land off of the government once we'd either built or rented it for a certain amount of time, I think. But we found out a lot more about that later on.
At the time, we didn't know whether people
right,
who weren't
for this
citizens could do
moment-
it either.
Yeah, for this moment we weren't 100% sure about it, and it made the block more expensive than the next block we ended up looking at. Standing here making this video, we've been covered in the clouds. It's raining, it's cold and damp. And over here we have, well, let's go over here and have a look. It's the start of a mountain bike trail, which is pretty cool. We saw somebody do a little start. They've got their little bit here, I guess, where you start from. And you go down this. It looks pretty interesting. Burnt some kind of sign or something onto here, it looks like. Pretty high up. You get to hear the rain on the roof.
Don't hear that very often in Russia.
No, because in Russia they insulate the roofs. Can you imagine? As we continue to search for land and places and that, we were getting a little bit disheartened. Didn't find much that was either in our price range or had the amenities that we needed. One of the things was if you buy a smaller block and you run it off of you know, wood or coal or something like that, it's just a little bit harder to store it. It takes up a lot of room, and the blocks, well, we wanted to do chickens and stuff like that, so we really wanted some bigger land, and in town it's just too expensive to buy land that you can do that on, so we didn't really want to go that way. But at the same time, obviously it's a lot easier to sell land in town than it is in the villages, so that was kind of that going through the back of our mind while we were looking. So we looked everywhere. We looked in the villages close by. Another thing that we were needing when we were looking was it had to be, you know, within a certain distance of major town, because for work and stuff like that, it just makes a lot more sense to be close by. So it kind of narrowed our searching down, because there was blocks that came up, you know, a bit further away that seemed good. They might have even had a house on them that was livable. And we did go and look at a few of those, as you would have seen in our other video, but we ended up deciding on a particular town where we found a block. Up, everybody's out the car. We've got to get all our stuff down here. And if you haven't guessed it, this is our place. Здесь дорога, наша ворота и участок там, ну, куча мусора, и здесь разные дерева. Там туалет есть, старые бани. Вот сколько мусора. Старый сарай. Вот. Старый дом, 1907 году строили. Еще один старый здание. И вот забор. Здесь у нас
Сейчас вспомню. Малина. Вкусно. So yeah, it's the block is just a little bit over 2 acres, and it's about 65 meters wide. I don't know how long it is, but it's quite nice. It's got all kinds of different flowers and herbs. So we've got a few thistles here I've got to take care of, and here we have some raspberries. We've got a nice view to the mountains. There's like a track runs across this way out to like a gravel road, and then all the way over to here to the main road, which is there. Those trees at the front there are willows. Pretty nice. And we have like field strawberries growing in here as well, which is quite nice.
Well guys, we have been super excited about finally being able to get a place and to start planning for the future. This is going to be a really nice place to be able to build,
raise our family.
It's got plenty of room to grow our food, to grow our family, and we're just really
so excited.
excited, and it's been a real big blessing to be able to find it.
Lots of work ahead of us, but
yeah,
it's all part of the journey.
It is quite a process to buy a place, and for us it was kind of all new. We'd never bought a place even in Australia, and now we had to do it all in Russian.
That was a journey as well.
So if you would like to know more about the details of stuff, we have a Buy Me a Coffee page, which is linked below, or you can find it over here at the end of the video. And there we will post more details on how we did it, how we bought the place, what you need to do, especially at this time with everything that's going on. So yeah, if that's something that's interesting to you, or you'd just like to see behind the scenes footage of what our family's like when it's not for YouTube, you can find that stuff out on our Buy Me a Coffee page. So yeah, check that out. If not, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification to see everything we do here on YouTube. Apart from that, thanks guys for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye.